This is something somewhere with LEGO Transformer Sine Wave. I think it's important to clarify that Sine Wave is not Sound Wave. While they do have similar appearances and names, they are, for every intent and purpose, different characters. The purpose of that is really up to interpretation. I actually intended him to be a completely different character. I originally based his design off of Jack Skellington. I had rewatched the movie because it was Halloween, and I really liked the way that he looked. Just his very spindly proportions and just the way he moved was very naturally unnatural, if that makes sense. And I thought it would be a cool figure, and I started working on it. And as I went along, it started to look less and less like what I wanted it to look like, and more like Soundwave. So I decided to make it Soundwave. But then, as I added more and more to it, it looked less like Soundwave. So I just decided to make it a different character once again. And I ended up with Sine Wave, which was a name that someone else had suggested and I thought fit pretty well. In terms of appearance, I really like the way that this guy turned out. I love his wide shoulders with the bulky arms and the spikes coming out of the shoulders with the hands and the arms, the very long ones. And how his head doesn't really have a neck, it kind of just connects to this piece that juts out, and he's got like these little like coat thing back here. It looks like a collar. And his front chest plate looks very alien, but it just completely transforms in vehicle mode and looks like the bottom of what the vehicle mode is, and the circular piece looks very good. And I like the little touches of yellow, translucent, and neon green. And the legs, I think, are my favorite part. I love how they're just this really weird shape, like satyr legs. They're just, and then like he's got like kind of like a thorax, so it's like there's like a little bit of bug in there too, and it's so weird, and I love it. And how his feet kind of fold inward. It's just so unnatural, and I love just the freakiness of this guy. I think he turned out really well, and this is probably one of my favorite designs that I've made so far. But that's really all I have to say about robot mode, so let's move on to the transformation. So for transformation, the first thing you're going to want to do is take these legs here and just kind of swivel them around. A full 180 like that. And then just kind of leave it up like that. Just make sure that they look like that. Then you're going to want to take the hips and push them together so that way they're like that. And line everything up. And then take the back and just kind of compress it so it's sitting flat like that. And be careful because this whole assembly is very loose. That's a jumper plate connected to just a 1x1, 1x2 with the clips. And then these are just these pieces. So be very careful because it's all just kind of held together just with stud friction. And then you're going to want to twist it around like that. So now it's facing backwards. And then you're going to take these leg pieces and then fold them down to where the tile on the front of the leg is pressing up against it. And then take this and just fold it in like that. And then you're going to take the head, twist it 90 degrees, press it up against this, and then take this piece and then fold it down. So that way it's facing flat. And then you're going to take the arms, straighten them out, and then just take this piece and fold it down like that, and then have it fold in. Do the same on the other side. Make sure everything is straight, and then take these pieces and fold them down, and slide this one down as well. Once again, make sure everything stays connected in the midsection. Sine Wave turns into a UAV. If you don't know what that is a unmanned aerial vehicle. Basically just a giant drone that's used for the military. Now, it's not based off of any specific UAV. The certain elements of it are, like the 3 jet boosters, that's this one, and the very long wings, that's one that Soundwave in Transformers Prime actually turned into. But just what I imagine a UAV would look like. And it's very kind of alien looking like. I like the weird little green bits there, and the yellow lights on the wings. And I like how the legs, those very like deer kind of legs, transform into this very sleek and narrow front pit of it, and his rounded thighs kind of become like where a cockpit would be. And coming to the bottom of it, other than the head just kind of being there, you wouldn't really think that this is an alien that turns into a robot. Like, even this bit just looks so sleek, and I really like the way that this specific part of it, the chest plate, turned out, because it just looks like the bottom of an airplane. And another thing about this is certain aspects of it are very loose, like that. You kind of it's just kind of the nature of the piece. Nothing really I could do there. And these bits aren't very strong. Like, you can just kind of push them down, and you kind of have to I'm sure there's a way you could figure out to get around that, but I'm sure that would require some level of alteration to the actual model, so I just kind of leave it as is, looking nice. For size comparison, here he is next to Turmoil, which I swear this is just becoming a plug to go watch that video at this point, a pencil, and a Dr. Pepper can. But that's all I have to say about this figure, so this has been Something Somewhere with LEGO Transformer Sine Wave, and I'll see you next time.
Warning, legalized nuclear bombs.